So, as a Georgia fan, I'm trying to think the last time that we had a very impressive football game. I'm trying to think of it. I mean, where you really were absolutely impressive. You know, 4 quarters, played play a good team and impress people. I mean, like that Oregon win back in 2022, that was impressive. Doesn't have anything like that. They've had an impressive game in 2.5 years. They've won some game moments, but they haven't looked impressive. You can't look impressive when you don't do anything in the first half.
Oh no!
That right there takes anything away from you for style points. So if Georgia were to put the kind of production for the whole game that they do in the second half, they would be uh, further up in the rankings. They're ranked 8th right now. We don't deserve to be ranked that high. We could easily be 3-3 and had an impressive game yet that you can point to. Like, this team looks really good. No, man, it hadn't happened. Now, let's talk about the top 25. Let's take a look at that and see what we're up against. You know, we're 5-1, but there's teams ranked as low as 20. So it's a tough market out there today. There won't be that margin of error that people think there will be. Georgia loses to Ole Miss, their playoff hopes, in my opinion. They probably won't be done, but they probably should be. So it's a must-win again. I don't think they're going to be able to beat Ole Miss with dillying around, you know, for a half. I don't think that's going to happen. Ohio State, 6-0 with 1631 points. This is AP. Miami right behind them at 1592. Remember, we used to look at that that little average. Georgia they're at 1148, almost 400 points behind the number one team. And, you know, obviously you can't stay on top forever. But Georgia, in my opinion, has abdicated that position voluntarily and not because of talent. And that's a big deal. I mean, they fired James Franklin for not winning the big ones. And Georgia is falling into that category of not able to win the really big ones. Lost to Alabama. But we have been able to win the important game somehow. And that Auburn game was a win. But it somehow, I mean, that was a 3-3 team. You shouldn't have that kind of battle with a team like Auburn. They had a good defense, and they're really probably only a few players away from being really good, but they can't score, even though they have great receivers. So is Georgia headed to be one of those kind of teams that struggles to score? They couldn't score for a decade or 15 years, and now, you know, they're a train wreck. I mean, you have to score to win. Now Georgia can't rely on the defense. So Georgia is a marginal playoff team, and every game they've managed to survive and continue, they can stay a playoff team at 5-1 or 1 loss, because you can't win very, very big games with even teams and basically do nothing for a half. And how long will Georgia fans just let that slide? I can't believe that they haven't already raised a ruckus about slow starts. You can't play football like that. So Ole Miss comes into the game undefeated, 6-0. Georgia 5-1. The game's going to come down to little things like which team is going to get the momentum in the game and can keep it, and that starts from the beginning. And Georgia can't afford to let this thing turn into a halftime deficit and trying to claw back. This team is kind of like yourself. So the story of this Ole Miss team seems to be riding on the back of their I guess he's the backup, Chambliss, the quarterback. He's done a pretty good job. He's got 5 games. He's done extremely well, and he seems to be a pretty dangerous kind of quarterback. Okay, so the Vegas has Ole Miss at plus 7.5, Georgia minus 7.5. The over/under at 54.5. Injuries: Diggs is questionable for Ole Miss, and Price, and Taylor and Blackshear are undisclosed. There's only 2 injuries that I see. Georgia's record at home is 3-1. Their away record is 2-0. Ole Miss is 1-0 on the road. Conference record 3-0 for Ole Miss, 3-1 for Georgia. Both teams trying to maintain that playoff spot. And it looks like this Ole Miss team might try to run the football. Let's see if we can find something about that running game they've got. Well, the Ole Miss offense is averaging 515 yards. That's 5th. And passing yards are 304 yards. That's 7th. And rushing, they're 27th, 204 yards. So this offense can do both. It's a balanced offense. 27th in the country, and they're averaging 200 yards, but they're averaging 300 yards in passing. And third down percentage is 51.3, certainly nothing to be embarrassed about. Defensively, they've allowed 337 yards per game. It's 49th. And they're 34th in passing defense at 170 yards. And they're 96th in rushing defense, allowing 157. 34th in points. 34th in points and 31st in third down percentage at 32.9. So here you see a picture of a team that probably is going to rely on some big plays. Georgia is going to be tested. Chambliss is the kind of quarterback that could cause Georgia lots of trouble. And I think if this thing goes to one of those kind of games where we're down by something in the half, or we haven't really done anything, and we could be in a lot of trouble. But Ole Miss, on the other hand, does seem to have some weakness in the fact that they don't sustain drives like they probably would like to. 32% third down. It's not quite what you want. And, Georgia might be able to get them off the field. And if their offense can produce, then we might have a fighting chance to win this football game. It does look like it's the kind of game that's going to come down probably to the fourth quarter, and we'll see if we can pull this one out. Lane Kiffin is famous for always making the headlines, and there's no telling what he's going to do. He's been known to go for 4th downs. He's got an eccentric nature. He may try anything, and it should be an exciting football game. But what Georgia, if they're going to win, they're going to have to get the crowd going early, have a productive first half, score points, and try to take a lead into the half, and then pull out the second half magic. And they can beat this Ole Miss team, and it would be a fantastic win for Georgia to get this. However, if they can't manage to get a win, I am saying no need to go buy a playoff ticket at that point.